Hello, 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 buckaroonies. And today I have decided to do a different video today. As most of you know, I work on this realm Gallarous a lot, along with my friends Czar, Bob, and Red, for the most part. And we tend to get a lot of people that get confused with the realm. Yeah, turns out there's a large amount of people that are actually just confused with some of the systems in the realm. So I thought today we would go through each and every one of the warps, sorry, and just go through all of them and see what's in them all. And the tour starts now. Alright, so our first location on the list is the Ice Warp. Now, the Ice Warp is a very fun location. That's a voice call notification. No one to worry about. Anyways, so Ice Warp, you may have seen this in my 9th episode of Gamer Gunk, but this is Ice Warp for the most part, a large icy wasteland almost you could call it, frozen wasteland maybe, winter wonderland, if you're really giving it the benefit of the doubt. But anyways, when we go down here, this is a boss arena for the boss Mama. Now, I can make a video later down the line doing all the different strategies for each and every one of these bosses, and you know what, while I'm at it right now, I'm just going to go do this real quick. You know what, yeah, there we go. Not like you can't hear anything, but I'm going to do that just for the sake of stuff. And this is Mama's boss. Now, the only thing I can basically tell you here is, for this boss, just to start off, is run away when you're low on health. That's my highest advice. It's easy to run away from polar bears. That and Redbeard will probably be the only two I'll give strategies for. The others I don't have enough experience fighting them. Anyways, next up on our list is Purple Warp, or Ruins Warp as it's also called. And the first thing we have there is this large not icy, but frozen ruins. I kind of want to call it the bird poop ruins a little bit, just because like all the snow on it makes it look like bird poop. But first of all, don't be on a low-end device when you come here. This place will lag you out. But on the other hand, this place is very nice. There was once a boss here for the OG players of Gallarous. However, it was removed shortly after. In fact, I'm planning on maybe bringing it back sometime. Anyways, the other part of Ruins Warp is down here with a pirate ship, and this is where you fight the boss Captain Redbeard at with Pirate's Gold. Similar to any of the other bosses, and while I'm at it, I might as well show how this works. First, this summon system is not a garbage can. If you stick something in this that is not the summon, which will be shown later, you are doing a great disservice to me, and if I catch you doing it, you're going to get banned. It's just as simple as that. Don't stick stuff in that thing that is not. If it's like you don't understand the summons and you just like stick the gold diamond and emerald that's for it, then yeah, that's a bit understandable. You didn't understand. But if you're just sticking armor after the boss fight in it, then yeah, you're just causing me annoyance. Anyways, this is the Crimson Warp. Sorry for my rant earlier, but this one is where a lot of the lower tier stuff that you're going to come across is at. Along with this, here's the recipe for Kryptonite. We'll get to that here shortly. And for this, we have the Summon Altar. So for instance, I can show off for all my stuff. I keep netherite armor on me, mainly because it's good when you want to dig a hole with ender crystals. It's actually how we dig out most of our holes. So here we go. You toss one ice, one cod, one salmon, and that creates Mama's dinner, the summon for Mama, which is exactly how you do it for all the other types in Gallarous as well. Keep note though, All of them require 3 other than the clocksmiths, which require 4. And clocksmith is also the only boss you need to kill another boss in its area for. Anyways, this is the recipe for kryptonite. You might be wondering, why am I able to make recipes? There's no place for these recipes or anything. Well, there's a... God, nah, I hate when that happens. There's a very good example for that. That is over here. The Crimson Crafter is where anything with this that does not have a sign on it is for the Crimson Crafter. For instance, if I take 1 mushroom, 2 mushroom, 1 dirt macarena, alright, and then dirt, mushroom, brown mushroom. There we go. You get mycelium as shown in this crafting recipe. And that's how it works for every single recipe in Gallarous. Now that's the Crimson Crafter. There are 2 other crafters, which will be brought up here soon. Anyways, going up with our next warp, Green Warp is under construction at the moment, so we're not going to go there during its sort of beta phase, you could say. We're going to go to the Rotten Jungle Warp. And this is the Rotten Jungle. As you can see, lots of mycelium, kind of like a sort of, it was reaching a sort of like disgusting tinge, like you're supposed to be like, this place is like rotten and disgusting when you come here, which is exactly how it ended up looking. Down here is the Jungle's Cavern, although it's hard to see. Hold on, if I set time, set day, and then you use the minecart for the Scenic Route. You can go down and we can see recipes. Very overgrown vines though. They do sometimes get out of control. There's a geode under us right there. And then this is the arena where you fight the rot itself. Now most of these minecarts get /killed whenever the rot is summoned, which is why there's none here. But yes, this is where you would fight the rot normally. But we're not going to summon the rot because we're not here to fight bosses. As you can see, the geode down here, the half-opened one. This place is a very nice, a very unique environment from the others down there. On top of that, if we go over here, we hit the Jungle Crafter, which is the sort of tier above anything that has this sign that says Jungle Crafter recipe on it. So for instance, if I fly around, this one says also for use for Jungle Crafter, that kind of thing. It is for the Jungle Crafter. And this is Jungleite, a tier above Kryptonite. It is the next tier in armor. There's also Prismite and Clockworks. However, Clockworks are pretty meh, if I'm being honest. I need to buff those. And Prismite's pretty decent, but it sucks in comparison to the Jungle Crafters. Jungleite. Anyways, the next warp we have on our list is the Flamelord's Altar, the only warp in the Nether. As you can see here, this is strictly more of a boss arena where you fight the Flamelord. He is a very unique boss. He spawns 10 blazes sentries. Very hard to kill. Killable before he's killed, but very unlikely to be killed. And someone really wants to talk to me in the voice chat, but I'm a bit busy at the moment. Next up on our area is, let me see, it would be Warp Room warps at this point. Alright, so this is the Warp Room, which is the room of extra warps, because there were so many ideas for different warps that I just compiled them all into one room, and we still need more space. This side, you're going to be disappearing once after a while. Anyways, though, for this one, we are going to the Ocean Warp first. The Ocean Warp is similar to the Flamelord's Altar. It has Prismite recipes around it, as you can see from the glowing item frames, but it is mainly a area for the boss here, which is the Sea Lord, the counterpart of the Flamelord. And like you may guess, this boss's reward is water breathing on kill, similar to the Flamelord's fire resistance on kill. That warp is done, out of the way. Also, fun fact, Ocean Warp was the final warp to ever have 1.16 world generation. All the others should have the other. And who keeps joining? I'm just going to leave that Discord calls before they continue. Alright, this is the cavern warp, as you can tell. You fall down, you're meant to fall down in this hole. This is the exit warp back to spawn, but you can also, and this is where the boss here is, follow down here to want to kill the Flamelord before you come here. It's due to all the magma blocks, and probably the rot as well, which I'll get into later in a later video where I explain bosses and everything with them. Now, this is the arena for the Slime Bros. Similar to the others, it is a very unique arena. Between all the arenas together, none of them are usually similar to one another. One you fight on your own turf, the others you may fight in an arena, but sometimes that arena has a overly large portion of it being slime blocks and magma blocks. And now time for the next warp, which would be the old Clockworks. The main part of the 1.4 update for Gallarous, the old Clockworks, is, as its name implied, an abandoned clock factory. Very large. This is probably one of the largest builds on Gallarous so far, not counting updates that are not out yet. For instance, I cannot lie, 1.7's Golden Colosseum is not anywhere near this. The only thing possibly close enough, a big enough project to compare to this, would have to be something around the lines of 1.8 or 1.9, Light Trials or the City. However, as we continue on this way, go down, go this way, and you will notice too, you may have noticed one of these before, this is a specific item. This is one of the items for the Clocksmith's armor. Not armor, it's summon. And when you get all four, one of them is killed by the other boss here, which we will get to here in a moment. Once you do all of that and put them all together, you can get the Clocksmith. And the Clocksmith is very special because its drop is one player sleep for the player. So although it doesn't have the best drops, as in its armor is terrible compared to others, it's a very unique armor set that also, I mean, the armor set itself is very unique, but the main thing you're going to want from him is his one-player sleep giving, which allows you to, sleep by yourself without needing the entire other server on. Anyways, this is the Ancient One, which is part of the underground. When he is killed, he drops part of the clock. I think it is the clock area, something around clock shell, I think it's called, which is one of the parts required for the not Sea Lord, the Clocksmiths. Anyways, continuing on with our marvelous journey, we go to the Endergangs Forest, the other part of 1.4, sort of lesser hidden part because of its smaller area. Now, this area is home to the Endergang, which is why you may notice blocks out of place as we move around here. Most times in a very set area around the boss. For instance, if we look up here, you can see they've started building their own little castle on this mushroom. And that's something that these guys like to do. They like to pick things up and move them around, especially around here, it's noticeable. Yeah, around here. Yes, the Endergangs Forest, although not very big, is a very nice area with its RNG-like system and on top of that, its tag being a lot more things involved with the enchanted touch, you could call it. Anyways, the next area we have to show off is Starlight Cape. Starlight Cape is a sort of crimson version of the desert with one boss in it, the Tomb Spider. Now the Tomb Spider is arguably the easiest boss in the game, making it's even easier than Mama. Just to show off though, fun light tricks, because this was always fun to make. We do this first. Seems like nobody messed with the lights. We click this. That's not going to look nice. Alright, as you can see, it lights up like so. This is where you fight the Tomb Spider, whose ability now does absolutely nothing. It used to allow you in the Temple of Insanity, but ever since the meta where you would spam Temple's Keep, it has later been changed to the Rotten tag. I need to find a reason why you should actually kill that boss now, other than because it drops an item required for the final boss. Next up is the Toxic Bogs. Now, although I have the Toxic tag, if I do tag booshican remove, and I remove myself from the Toxic tag, and then I jump into the water, as you'll notice, I get poison. And it is a very large dose of poison. Very spicy water, as you can imagine. And this is the thing with the Toxic Bugs. You cannot be in the water. The water will mess you up. But on another end, if you take a water bottle and go in the Toxic Bogs in the water, it will turn into a poison potion, which is actually a thing required for the boss here, which sort of allows you a good reason to kill it. As you can see around here, this is the dock. Toxic Bogs, obviously, very poisonous waters. They took away any life there was here, with a lone witch and her pet Atticus, her pet Ravager named Atticus. I stand corrected on that. And they are the boss of this area, Lorraine and Atticus. Anyways, continuing on with our next area, we have the Temple Crafter, which is the next more important area in the setup. Now, the Temple of Insanity is much more lore based around, but this is the Temple Crafter itself, which crafts armor a tier above Jungleite, ancient type armor. Although it does not give buffs, it is much stronger, and it is going to be a necessity to kill the boss here, known as Temple's Keep, the keeper of this temple. Although he's not active now, he's an entire reason I had to go on a tirade a single day just to nerf him to the point where people wouldn't be spamming him, but he'd still stay balanced. And then finally, Dark Mount, which I cannot show off anymore. I want you all to see the rest yourself. Dark Mount's more of a boss fight than it is a scenic area. And finally off, I might as well show this off, the Golden Colosseum sneak peeks. As you can see, this is the Golden Colosseum so far. A very nice build. And this will be in the 1.7 update once the boss is finished. For the most part it is. All that's left is the summoning crafting system. And once that is up, the boss will be out. Anyways, that is all for Gallarous warps so far. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it helped out a little bit in your travels. And I'll see you guys later.